Hello, everybody. We got another one for you. Premier Scott Moe of Saskatchewan has decided that it's also time for his province to remove the mandates. And as of Monday coming up at midnight, the which mandate was it that's going to be removed? I believe it is the proof of vaccination mandate will be gone. That is going to follow right in the footsteps of Alberta's, and then by February 28th, all other mandates, including isolation and after testing positive, is set to expire. So we are no longer going to have to deal with that in Saskatchewan either. Another big victory for the Freedom Truckers, because otherwise, without them, I don't think this would be happening. 2 months before the proof of vaccination public health order was written, Colin Hall was one of the first in Saskatchewan to implement a proof of vaccination policy at his business, a Regina-based yoga studio. Now, 7 months later, he says he's comfortable with ending his vaccination policy, but adds he'll still be requiring mask usage in classes for the indefinite future. So there is a little bit of give and take, a little bit of people still not understanding that, yeah, Omicron doesn't really matter if you have a mask or not, so all it is just useless waste at this point. It's just more waste of things that we don't need to be spending money on. We will be ending our proof of vaccination policy February 14th. The risk of people becoming very seriously ill was really quite high. No, it wasn't. Omicron wasn't even close to deadly. And I don't feel like that's the case now with the Omicron wave. Oh, never mind. He corrected it. If he's talking about Delta and COVID-19, then yes, the health risks were higher than what Omicron was. So yes, I'll give him that. But for the time being, I think masks are going to maintain people's sense of confidence and security going out and doing group things again. I feel like masks are really a nice middle ground for people. Yeah, I mean, if people want to wear masks, by all means, wear them. But I guarantee you, majority of people will not go to your shop, business, or anything like that if you are still required to wear a mask. People will shop elsewhere. They will go to places that aren't going to be still trying to use these mandates in some form. What else was there? There was also another one. Yes, meanwhile, Jim Southam, who owns Prairie Cannabis and is a member of the Saskatchewan Independent Cannabis Retailers Network, says he believes the restrictions hurt business and is hoping for a rebound following their removal. In talking with our members, numbers ranged anywhere from a 15 to over 30% reduction in sales since proof of vaccination came into play. Hopefully our customers will start to come back into the stores and we can get back to some kind of normal. That is a thing that I've noticed even where I live, where if people were pushing for your passports or for you to wear a mask or anything like that, people would just stop shopping there. They would just shop on Amazon. I know I was one of those people where if somebody was like, can I see your proof of vaccination? Even though I'm vaccinated, I was like, I don't want to support you. I don't want to give you money. Because all you're doing is just following the lies at this point. Like, at the beginning of COVID, I get it. Made sense. Now, come on. It's literally lunacy. So if I were to go to if BC ends mandates and I go to a weed shop and they're like, hey, you got to wear a mask, I'll be like, hey, I'm not shopping here, goodbye. Because at that point, what's the point? There is no point. Omicron is so infectious that masks do nothing. And we touch our faces so often because of the masks that it does no protection. You always adjust it, you play with your ears, you try to play with your nose, you scratch your face, you touch your face so often that it doesn't help at all. In fact, it makes it so that you're more likely to catch it. It's just funny to me. Amy here has put down, my vaccine and mask policies will remain in effect beyond February 28th. If anyone is looking for aesthetic service in the Saskatoon area, Warman, March 1st is too soon for me too. I can almost guarantee you she's going to see an even bigger decline in business because there isn't enough people out there that are still scared of this vaccine. There's a reason majority of people want these mandates gone. It's because the minority have all the power. So anyway, Saskatoon Chambers of Commerce CEO Jason Abig added that while his organization respects and supports the government's decision to end restrictions, a phased-out approach to ending proof of vaccination would have been preferred to allow affected businesses to unwind their policies and commute the change to their employees and customers. Why does it need to have even more time than a month's notice? Like, honestly, all businesses should have to do is just send out an email being like, hey, guess what? Good news, everybody. Mandates are gone. And then everybody cheers and everybody goes back to normal. It's not something that needs a rollout plan. This is just something where it just needs to be ended. They have to just cut the head off the Hydra and hope not another one sprouts up. But in the case of Hydras, they usually do. So that's what I'm thinking is going to happen here. If there's enough pushback from the Liberals and if the protest doesn't work, then they're just going to rescind this, go back to the way it was, and even double down. One of the things I wanted to scroll back up to, though, is this little poll here. And I find this poll fucking hilarious. I know oh shit, I wasn't even showing it on screen. Anyway, here we go. the that was such a rookie move, whatever. Anyway, so this poll right here that is on Global News shows the Saskatoon Chamber latest snapshot of business opinion. 60% of business owners and stakeholders welcome the lifting of the proof of vaccine negative test requirement and respect this decision made by policymakers and CMHO experts. Proof of vaccination negative test policy survey results. As a business, how do you feel about the province potentially ending the current proof of negative test and proof of vaccination policy? 60% removed by end of February, 32% do not remove, and somehow 6% of people still want more restrictions. My guess is this is probably every employee at Pfizer, every stakeholder at Pfizer, and maybe even some friends of Justin Trudeau that make up this 6%. And the 2% don't know, unsure. They're probably just like, yeah, you sent me a text message or you just tweeted this at me. I'm just going to respond with, eh. So, I mean, majority of people want it gone. Just do it. Just remove it. And that's what I'm so happy that they're doing here. They're finally getting rid of the nonsensical mandates that make no sense to have anymore. It's so sad that it had to take this long. And like, here's another one. Just canceled our family week staycation in Wakesiu. I'm not comfortable with bringing my family to a resort and eating out at restaurants when there are no mask mandates nor proof of vaccination. She does realize that people don't eat with their masks on, right? So going to a restaurant with or without the mandate should change nothing, like at all. But for some reason for her, it's a big deal because she's a healthcare worker. Whoops, what did I just do? No, I don't want to dox her. Don't dox. Don't say anything to her, but I'm just saying, this is a weird perspective on things. And yes, she's allowed to feel uncomfortable. She's allowed to do what she wants to do. But I just find it so weird that you have to be afraid of going and eating at a restaurant when people don't wear masks in that restaurant. That's just an odd example. I can understand going to venues like theaters or going out to shops and stuff like that. People are still scared. People were rallied to be afraid of this. There was so much fear-mongering behind this that I can't blame them for being afraid. But that's just it. People are thinking it's too early. But honestly, it's so late. This should have been done, at this point, the very least 8 months ago. That's when it should have been, like, rescinded. But I don't know. It's just my opinion on that one, but it's just so nice to see that Saskatchewan and Alberta, 2 of our 12 provinces, have decided to do the right thing and move forward. Get us back into the real world. Instead of being constantly fed these fear-mongering articles and fear-mongering news pieces and hit pieces on people that don't deserve to be divided. Like, the divisiveness and everything that's happened because of Trudeau is just so anger-inducing. So it's so nice to see that people can still have a level head, even if they're in politics, and push forward for the greater good of the people instead of the greater good of the rich and the powerful. It's so nice to see. And if this does end up working out where it doesn't end up getting pushed back, like to the end of March or to the end of April or the end of May, if this schedule keeps up, then the victory is ours. Anyways, guys, if I find out anything else about these COVID-19 restrictions coming out, or any more provinces getting rid of vaccine mandates, man, my brain's like terribly wired today. I'm just excited. But if I find out any more provinces are getting rid of them, anything else that's going to change, whether Alberta changes its mind, Saskatchewan changes its mind, anything to do with these mandates and COVID-19 and the Freedom Truckers, I'm going to try to make as many videos as I can. So if you want to, please feel free to subscribe. If you don't, no worries. If you like it, like it. If you don't, dislike it. And if you want a conversation, leave a comment in the comments down below. Anyways, guys, love you all. See you next time. Bye-bye.